Hey guys, welcome back. I hope you all are doing good. Um, in the last session, we have seen the extraction of iron, right? So I hope you might have gone through it, the different types of iron, and I have also told you about the different places in India and the use of iron, how much quantity it is used, and how much it is produced yearly. So you might have gone through all that. So if you understand that, then this topic will be very easy for you. Okay, so firstly, we have used limestone in the extraction. So I thought of giving you the short um, detailing about it, but I'll not write much on it. I'll just explain you. If you want, you can write it, right? So the very important thing you can say, the things which we use here is limestone. The first thing I'll say will be the function of limestone. Okay. So for what are the function of limestone? So basically, uh, is the slag formation. Okay. So limestone is basically decomposed to quicklime on heating. Okay. So since it gets decomposed into quicklime, this quicklime combines with the slag, right? Combines with the impurity, forming slag of silicate. Okay, so that is the very important part. And quicklime, when combines with the impurities like this, they form molten slag. Remember that, molten slag, and the slag floats on the surface of the molten iron. So it is taken out through a outlet. Okay, as as the process is going on, time to time it is taken out, and the formation of calcium silicate as slag not only removes the unwanted silica but also keeps iron away from being oxidized, because iron should not get oxidized. ये भी important है. ठीक है. Now you can just write the function on your own. It is very simple. That is the slag formation and avoiding the oxidation of iron. Okay. Then second topic of the day will be variety of iron. ठीक है. Varieties of iron. ठीक है. So the first one is your pig iron and cast iron. So what are these? ठीक है. So basically the iron produced in the blast furnace is pig iron. ठीक है. So it is basically containing comparatively high percentage of carbon, due to which it is hard. ठीक है. Hard and brittle, means it contains high amount of carbon. That's it. It also contains phosphorus, silicon, manganese as impurities. So pig iron is melted, mixed with steel scrap and allowed to cool in molds to give cast iron, and this is cast iron is also an impure iron and is hard and brittle. Both are impure. Okay, with high quantity of carbon. Then the second one is your wrought iron. Okay, so wrought iron is what? Wrought iron. Okay, see, it is almost a pure form of iron. How? So it contains only 0.12% to 0.25% carbon. It melts at higher temperature like 1773 Kelvin than that at which cast iron melts. ठीक है, it is quite higher temperature. ठीक है. Then wrought iron is basically obtained by melting cast iron and on a hearth. ठीक है, and then with ferric oxide. ठीक है. So the impurities such as carbon, phosphorus, silicon, manganese, etc. is left behind, and hearth, hearth we have seen, sloping hearth and all. ठीक है. So in that it is basically purified. ठीक है. Now so wherever you find Fe2O3, that is the iron oxide, it will definitely combine, as we have seen कि we are adding we are adding iron oxide to purify this pig iron so that it can be converted into wrought iron. See, pig iron में क्या था, carbon था, तो when we add iron oxide to it, then obviously the carbon in the pig iron will come react with the iron oxide and reduce it, forming pure iron. ठीक है, so carbon monoxide will be formed and that will be released. ठीक है, so wrought iron is soft, grey and even tough. It is malleable, ductile, as the metals have these property. Then hence it can be drawn into sheets, stretched into wires, etc. Now what where it is used, so it is used in making chains, wires, anchors, cores, electromagnets. All these things are made out of it. Fine, so these are the varieties of iron. Now moving to the steel. ठीक है, steel is also a variety of iron only because it is made of it. It is the alloy of iron, I must say. ठीक है, so steel. Steel is an alloy of iron and carbon. So we have carbon in it. ठीक है, it contains about 0.15 to 1.7% of carbon. So high amount of carbon is there. And there are different types of steel. Steel के भी types हैं. And why this steel is made? Because iron particles easily get rusted when they come in contact with moisture. They get oxidized with the oxygen present in air, and that is why, and easily catch rust. ठीक है, so that is why we convert it into steel so that we can use it for longer time. ठीक है, so there are different types of steel, you can say. The first one is mild steel. Mild steel. So what it is? So basically it contains 0.3% carbon. ठीक है, in iron. So it is also called soft iron. Soft iron, you can write over here. It is also called soft iron. And mild steel is used for making sheets and wires. Then you have hard steels. The second type of this is hard steel. ठीक है, so it contains higher percentage like 0.7. See, this is the least percent of carbon, and in this it will contain 0.7 to 1.7% carbon. ठीक है, this much carbon it will be there in hard steel. And it is used for making tools and instruments of carbon of this iron. ठीक है, then we have the third one as alloy steel. Alloy steel. So alloy steels are basically prepared by adding small amount of nickel, cobalt, chromium, tungsten, molybdenum. These are basically inert elements which when added to iron, they are going to definitely protect the iron from getting corroded. ठीक है, so this is alloy. In this you can write, we have also written this in the first chapter, so there is no need to write, but yes, it is an alloy with inert elements like nickel, chromium, etc. mixed with it, mixed in iron. ठीक है, now this is the alloy steel. Then there is a medium steel, you can say. So medium steel, it contains somewhere around 0.3 to 0.7% carbon, and it is hard and is used for making rails, bridges, etc. ठीक है, so you can even write the fourth type here, that is medium steel. ठीक है, so how much? 0.3 to 0.7% carbon. ठीक है, so you can just make note of these things, that is the varieties of iron. Now we'll go through some small processes and then Well, I think this will be ended over here. I'll try to end it today because I need to go for aluminium also, and then I'll have to start with the new chapter along with it. So question answers are also remaining. So that is why. Okay. So let's see some few processes also, small processes, not much to do. Third one is tempering. Tempering. What is tempering? So basically the hardness and elasticity of the steel can be controlled in it, okay, by specifically by treatment of heat. So I'll just write it over here. So by treatment of heat, hardness and elasticity of steel is controlled. So this is what we steel is controlled. This is what we do here in tempering. So basically the steel is heated to a temperature below redness, मतलब melting होने से थोड़ा below में they heat, ठीक है. It is then cooled slowly, and the process is called tempering of steel. So it is used to bring the steel to a suitable state of hardness and elasticity. So एक particular hardness जो अगर हमें चाहिए तो हम ये treatment करते हैं, ठीक है. Then we have annealing. See, whatever is the process we are doing in iron or steel, they are related to hardness or their elasticity only. So this you can find many videos on YouTube regarding these processes, ठीक है. मतलब रेड होने से पहले यानी थोड़ा ऑरेंज येलो रहे हीट मतलब जो आयरन, तभी उसको रोक दिया जाता है, एंड देन वो थोड़ा सा सॉफ्ट हो जाता है. इट डज नॉट मेल्ट बट डेफिनेटली इट बिकम्स बिट सॉफ्ट. तो इतनी हीटिंग की जाती है, एंड देन एज पर द रिक्वायरमेंट इट इज़ मोल्डेड इनटू डिफरेंट शेप्स so that the hardness also will not stop them from doing. That is why they are doing this tempering and all. Then we have the fourth one, that is annealing. Annealing, it is also a process, annealing of steel, okay. In this, hard steel can be softened by heating to high temperature, right, and then allowing it to cool down slowly, okay. So we are heating it at very high temperature. Steel is softened, okay. So how we are softening it? By heating it at very high temperature, and then slowly cooling it. So this is your annealing, right? Now the last process for today I'll be showing you is quenching of steel. So what is quenching of steel? Quenching of steel, ठीक है. So what is quenching of steel? So hard steel is heated to a high temperature, and then it is suddenly cooled by plunging into oil or water. So basically what we are doing, इसमें sudden cooling है. Annealing में we are doing slow cooling, and in quenching we are doing very quick cooling, ठीक है. Then steel becomes as hard and brittle. Hard तो रहेगा ही, brittle जैसे कि कांच होता है टूटने वाला, ठीक है. So it can be broken down. So steel produced in this way is used as quenched steel, and the process of making such steel is known as quenching, ठीक है. You have to remember. Or hardening of steel. Basically it is hardening, ठीक है. So this is softening, this is hardening, and this is controlling the hardness and the elasticity of the steel. So we'll just simply write it here. Okay, what we do, heated steel is that is the hard steel, hard steel is heated to a very high temperature, and suddenly cooled with help of oil or water. ठीक है, so this is quenching. So what we have seen in this session up till now is function of limestone, right? What is the function of limestone? It is nothing but the formation of slag, and that is nothing but removing impurities. Then we have seen the different varieties of the iron. So the first one was pig iron, then cast iron. Both are impure irons and both contains high quantity of carbon. Wrought iron is somewhere very matlab very almost pure, not very pure, but definitely the impurity, that is the carbon, is very less in the wrought iron. 0.12% to 0.25% is very less, right? And then we have seen the steel, the three types of steel. Okay, three नहीं, four types of steel. This should be there in this. Okay, so that is the mild steel, and which contains hardly 0.3% carbon. Hard steel, which contains 0.7 to 1.7% carbon. Medium steel, 0.3 to 0.7% carbon. Alloy steel is nothing but made by mixing inert elements such as nickel, chromium, etc. with the iron, so that iron easily do not get rusted. Okay. Then we have seen some processes which actually show the how we control the hardness of the steel. Okay. So the first one was tempering. Tempering is nothing but treatment of heat so that hardness and elasticity can be controlled of steel. Yes, yeah. Then is your annealing. Annealing is nothing but again the softening of the steel, in which we heat the steel at very high temperature and then slowly we cool it down. Then quenching of steel we do. What is quenching? Quenching is nothing but we are trying to harden the steel. Here we are suddenly firstly though we are heating it at very high temperature and then suddenly cooling it so that it can become hard plus brittle. Hardness is different and brittle is different. Brittle means टूटना झट से, एक पंच वगैरह से कांच टूटता है, दैट इज ब्रिटल. ठीक है, इट विल बी हार्ड बट ब्रिटल. सो क्वेंच स्टील बनाने के लिए वी डू दिस प्रोसेस. ठीक है. देन after this there are properties. So there are many properties, you can say physical and the chemical properties, and which we have already discussed earlier in this chapter also, in the first chapter of 10th also. So I'll just give you some basic things like action of air. So whenever it will react with air, it is going to produce oxide. Iron is going to produce oxide. Whenever the iron is going to react with water, it is going to produce again iron oxide, but which one? So Fe3O4 will be produced, right? And then when we see the action of acid, okay, so on this, so what will happen? So iron dissolves in dilute hydrochloric acid, right? And what does it form? So FeCl2 is formed. Then concentrated hydrochloric acid also produces hydrogen with iron, right? So these are the things we have already seen. Then sulfuric acid के साथ भी रिएक्शन होगा तो FeSO4 फॉर्म करेगा. Then we have iron reacting with iron reacting with sulfuric acid, then reacting with nitric acid. Whenever the iron is going to react with nitric acid, it is going to form iron nitrate, that is FeNO3 twice, right? And whenever the iron is going to react with the halogens, it is going to produce FeCl3. So chlorides will be formed, sulfides will be formed on action with sulfur. Okay. So these are the things also. Being reactive, it can displace copper from the copper sulfate. So all these things we have already seen, so that is why I'm not writing it. I hope you will just go through the notes. If you want the notes, you can just message me, I'll give you that. Then yeah, these are the things. Then we have also seen about the rusting. Okay, rusting of iron is nothing but the oxidation process. When the iron comes in contact with moisture, the iron reacts with oxygen forming rust, and this rust is nothing but oxidation of iron, right? So to prevent this, we do a lot many things, like we paint the iron articles, so that oil painting is done so that the oxygen does not come in contact with it. Then we make the alloys, right? So all these things, then galvanizing and anodizing, then tinning, etc., the processes already discussed. So that is why I'm not repeating the same thing, right? So I hope everything is very clear to you. Regarding the uses, if you go through, so uses, so you know many things we are using. Like in home also, you can see many utensils and equipments are there. Okay, then wrought iron, cast iron are basically used in the manufacturing of locomotives, right? Your vehicles, railways, etc. Then iron finds wide application in house construction. सी अगर आपके बिल्डिंग के जो कंस्ट्रक्शन है तो उसके पिलर्स में भी आयरन होते हैं, सो दैट थोड़ा स्ट्रेंथ बना रहे फॉर लॉन्गर टाइम, तो बिल्डिंग्स में भी वो यूज़ हो रहे हैं. तो सो देर आर मेनी यूज़ ऑफ आयरन. और अगर आयरन अच्छी क्वालिटी का ना हो तो इट में ईजिली गेट डैमेज्ड. ठीक है. So these are the different things which we have seen in this session. So I have completed this. In the next session, I'll try to finish up with the aluminium. If it is done, then very good. We'll be just going through the question answer. So most probably in the next session, I'll complete this aluminium also, right? So with this, I would like to wind up the session. Hope you understand everything. If you have any doubt, you can ask me. I'll help you with the subject related doubts. So we'll meet in the next session. Till then, bye bye.